Welcome back, MG Marine Tech here, and today we are finally going to be covering Gt56 side imaging settings to provide pictures like this. Now, I've had this transducer for a couple of months now, thanks to my friends over at Hennessy Outdoor Electronics. They are your one-stop shop for anything outdoor related, Garmin, Humminbird, Lowrance, whatever. They've got great prices, but not only that, they're very knowledgeable over there. So please give them a look because they will definitely help you guys out in getting you anything that you need. Before we dive into these settings, please hit that subscribe button for me because it does help me out greatly, and it is a big thank you for me putting the time and effort into putting all these videos together for you guys. So again, without further ado, let's get the boat out on the water and show you what the Gt56 is capable of. So I did this out on the water, but unfortunately the audio is bad, so we're gonna have to do it again right here. One of the most important things when trying to achieve the best side imaging picture possible for the Gt56 is keeping your down imaging frequency different from that of your side imaging frequency. Now, one of the great things with the Gt56 is you have all the options of 455, 810, or 1070 kilohertz for both down imaging and side imaging. Now, the problem lies when you have both your side imaging and your down imaging on the same frequency, and what will happen is your range on your side imaging will suffer. And this is so important. I made a video a long time ago, but we're gonna walk through it again because it is just that important. So here we go. Let's go back out on the water and show you what happens. All right guys, here we go. Side imaging 1070, down imaging 810. Now watch what happens when I change my down imaging to 1070 as well. Go back to my main screen. Look what happens there. See how much darker it gets? What will happen is this right underneath the boat and slightly off to the side will become really blown out once you get your settings correctly when you have them both the same frequency. But you can see down here when they are different, much brighter, and then it gets much darker and you lose a ton of range. So we'll switch back to a different frequency on the down imaging. And there we go. Much brighter all the way through, much easier to see, and that is why it is so crucial to run your down imaging and your side imaging on different frequencies with the Gt56. All right guys, so we're gonna keep it simple. I'm going to list all the settings that I use for the Gt56 right here. I'll give you guys a few seconds to copy these down, screenshot them, whatever you want. But yeah, these settings really work well for me. Anywhere from about 5 foot of water all the way to 50 or 60. And that seems to be about the limit for the 1070 kilohertz for me. And again, that depends on the hardness of the bottom. Let's dive in. I'll show you guys the walkthrough on all of these settings. Again, most important thing is running your side imaging and your down imaging on different frequencies. But second most important thing for the best picture possible is running your frequency on 1070. This is where you would pick it out, 1070 right there. The next two most important things are contrast and brightness. Contrast, I will run this contrast anywhere from about 40 to 50 depending on the day, time, type of water, depth of water, hardness of the bottom, etc. So really play with this one quite a bit, but again, anywhere 40 to 50 is what I really like for this transducer. Now going on to brightness. Brightness, I usually have this locked at 90% the majority of the time. Now if I feel that I'm lacking a little bit of range or I need to brighten the picture up, obviously I come in here and I tweak my brightness up. But 90 seems to be a very good starting point, and it doesn't really wash out the bottom directly underneath and gives you still good range. Range is another important thing with the Gt56. This is one of the biggest advantages over the Gt54 is the range that this transducer can see. In your higher kilohertz settings on the Gt54, you could really only get to about 70 feet before you would start to lose screen and it would just be black off to the sides. But with the Gt56 in 1070 kilohertz, I find that you can easily get to 100 and in some cases 125, 150 foot off to the side, which is a enormous difference from the Gt54 to the Gt56. I run it at 100 foot 99% of the time, but if I want to come in and get more detail out of something and really blow those images up, you know, you can really tighten that up 40-50 feet, and it will dedicate more pixels to that object on the screen and give you a little bit more detail. But I like to cover as much water as possible, so I run this on 100 foot 90% of the time. Now, as far as the rest of the settings, they are extremely similar to the GT54, but we'll run through them really quick. Our scroll speed, auto, again, these things know how fast they're going. I feel that it gives me the best detailed picture. And color scheme, amber. Amber is my favorite to my eyes. The other ones seem a little grainy, but amber is by far my favorite. And the rest of the settings are under advanced. Now, interference I find is not super helpful to me. I will either keep this off or low. I've not seen too much instances where I need to use this interference, so I'll either keep it low or off. Now, TBG is very important. I run this low 99% of the time. I'll show you what happens when you switch it to off. Things become much brighter, washed out again, and this would require you going back into your brightness and your contrast, lowering those back down to bring back that detail. So if you find off works well for you, you're going to have to go in and change that brightness and contrast. So again, low works the best for me, and you can see it really cleans up the water column, gives it a little bit more detail back in here, and works really well for these settings. So that is a wrap on the GT56 side imaging video. I hope these settings that I just explained to you guys work for you just as well as they work for me. But if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop a comment down below. And if you would, please hit that subscribe button, because it does help me out quite a bit. And it is a great way to say thank you for me putting in the time and effort to create these videos for you guys. But as always, stay tuned for more tips and tricks on MG Marine Tech.